Hello friends, greetings. Welcome to How to VLAN channel, and this is DBA VLAN stream. In this video, we are going to see how to set up a MySQL database from scratch. The method we will be using is RPM, and the platform on which we are going to set up this MySQL database is CentOS 7.x, and the MySQL version we are going to set it up is 8.0.x. Let's get started. Okay, as we normally do, we will just brief the steps that are involved in this setup procedure. So we are going to set up MySQL database from scratch on a CentOS 7.x, which is x64. So for that, the steps involved are: first, you need to frame your requirement. So what are you planning to set up? You're planning to set up a MySQL database. Do you need a support for this product or not? So do you need a vendor support or not? So decide on that, because MySQL comes in two offerings, one with the vendor support and the other one is community edition. Community edition does not have any support, so you need to decide on that and which version of MySQL you are going to set it up. So we already decided we have three options currently available which are supported now, which is version 5, 8 and 8.1. In 8 itself you have two versions available. And on which platform we already decided, it will be CentOS, which is again compatible with RHEL or Oracle Linux. Is the candidate MySQL under support now? And is it supported in the candidate platform? We are going to see how to verify this. How do you want to install? So the method we chose was RPM. So you need to collect this basic information. The next one is, based on the option you choose, if you have decided RPM based install, then you need to download the RPMs and then transfer the RPMs to the candidate machine, decompress them and install the RPM using this method as shown here. So using this command you need to install them. This particular step, which MySQL says is error prone if you do it manually. Instead, if you just if you register your machine to MySQL repository, you will get it very cleanly installed, is what MySQL says, Oracle says for instance. But I've decided to go the other way because I don't want to register my machine to Oracle repository for MySQL, Oracle MySQL repository. Okay. If installing as root, skip the sudo command. Yes, you don't need to, because normally I'm going to do it as root, and this is what you have to do. MySQL has very tight integration with the OS root user, so it's better you have the root credential for the machine. Otherwise, you need to look for another alternate user with a sudo permission. Alright. So then, after you do the installation, this is binary installation alone. This command is, it doesn't do anything else. So when you start the MySQL server for the first time, it will initialize the data directory. It will create a SSL certificate for the connections between the client and the server, and then also it will initiate the validate password. So that is what this command does. And then once you complete this start SQL server, you will actually have to update your root credential. It's not OS root, it's a MySQL user root. That credential has to be changed. And once all that are done, we have one more last step. This Excel sheet, which contains the critical information about your MySQL deployment, needs to be captured and needs to be stored. Okay, so we were going to see it. So how we do it? This is what I got from Oracle's MySQL website, but they say that this is the default locations for your MySQL deployment, but we will really see what and where it goes to, okay, based on our deployment. Thanks guys. I hope you understood how are we going to deploy it. So let's really go into the actual execution. Okay, so let's go step by step. We already saw the steps in brief, so the basic details we need to collect. So are you going to install MySQL? Yes, I am going to install MySQL. Okay, the answer for this is yes. Do you want an enterprise edition? Okay, so let's write down the answers. So, yes. And do you want a community or enterprise edition? So, I want a community edition. So, you need to also fill up like this. And which version? It was 8.0.x. And which platform? Answer is CentOS. Okay, so 7.x x64. This is an equivalent of RHEL or OEL. Is the candidate supported? Yes. So for this, you need to go here and verify if whatever you have decided is properly supported or not. So you see here, I am already in the URL MySQL support supported platform database.html. I am in that platform and I am on the URL. You see here important platform updates. You see which are certified 8.1, 8.0, 5.7 are the ones which are currently in support by the Oracle Corporation. So they are actively releasing patches and updates for them, bug fixes and so on. So you see here, Oracle Linux, Red Hat Linux 6, CentOS 6. So the 32-bit version stopped with Oracle Linux or RHEL 6 or CentOS 6. See here is the only version you will get 32-bit version, and that too 5.7 and 8.0. The later versions of RHEL or CentOS you don't get 32-bit at all, so it's always better to keep it with 64-bit. And you have ARM support as well now. So anyway, so we are only interested in this particular support, and you see all three products are supported 5.7, 8.0 and 8.1. Look here, 5.7 is no more having support on ARM based processors, and then CentOS 8 or RHEL 8. See, CentOS 8 is the last version in CentOS that is supported, after which you only have to go out to Oracle Linux 9 or Red Hat Linux 9. I would prefer Oracle Linux 9 because Oracle clearly told that they are going to keep it open source and they will continue supporting it. So I prefer Oracle Linux after CentOS 8 is tested. So anyway, the 8.0 and 8.1 are available only on platforms version 8 and above. So that is what we are interested in. So our platform currently, the one we are deploying is supported. So this is verified. So this is one table you can use to decide on the first criteria. All right. And support only based on your funding, you can decide whether to go with the community edition or a vendor supported edition. Is this candidate MySQL server under support now is supported by the candidate platform? Yes, we saw yes. Yes. How do you want to install? So you have many methods. Okay, we decided to go with RPM. I'll show you how did I decide this. So if you go to right, so if I go to install and upgrading MySQL and install on MySQL on Linux, you have this many methods available. Alright, installing MySQL on Linux using MySQL yum repository. I did not choose this. I chose this method, installing MySQL on Linux using RPM packages from Oracle. Alright, there are other methods as well, but I prefer to stick to this because I have a control on what I am installing really. Alright, so I want everything in a controlled fashion, and moreover, the method that Oracle gives you are two methods. One, generic binary based install. What it means, it's Oracle's pre-compiled package, which means that all you need to do is untar, that's all. The binary is already. The other one is source tree based one. Source tree based, and here you can actually add, remove attributes or components and optimize it as well. So this is more of this is more of packing. I mean, when I say packing, if you are actually deploying it this MySQL part of a larger application, then you will need the source tree based one, so where you can trim down the product to whatever you really need and then remove all the extra components. For me, I am actually going to do this generic binary install. In the generic binary install, you have options like RPM based install, or you have this you again have compiled code available as one single tar. You can untar and then install it. So you can decide the location on this with this one. Alright, let's get started. So I'm going to download the RPMs, and then I'm going to start the installation. Okay. So based on the option chosen, we are using RPM based install, download the RPMs. So I need to go to this URL to download the RPMs. So I go here, not here. Alright, you see here. I need to go here, and you see here there are two options: general availability releases, the ones which are currently available. Archives is anything that you want to download from the past. So you can go here and download them. So they say new releases will have recent bug fixes and features, which is true. So because moreover we are going with open source, so it's always better to go with the latest releases. So let's go to the general availability release. You see here we have three options: 8.1.0, 8.0.34, 5.7.43. This is an innovation release, but I am an Oracle DB2. I know what is an innovation release when Oracle says an Oracle database innovation. They say it is used for future product testing. And they don't say that it is for production ready. So you should not use an innovation release on a production server. This is what Oracle says for Oracle database. But for MySQL, they say you can use 8.1.0 innovation edition also for production. It's production ready code, they're saying. So but I prefer to stick to 8.0.34 unless I get a clarity on this. So I am going to download 8.0.34, and you have various OS option. You decide Red Hat Enterprise Linux or Oracle Linux, and specific OS version. I wanted it for x64 64. I don't want to download the individual packages. I'm going to download the major one, which is the largest one, RPM bundle, which is 984 MB. Okay. To keep this video short, I already completed the download. Okay, if you see here, my bundle is already available. So, and this is MySQL 8.0.34 EL x86-64 RPM bundle. Okay, this I already downloaded, and I kept it here. You see here. Alright, what is the next step we need to do? So once the download is completed, transfer the RPMs to the respective server and decompress and untar the RPM files and install them. So I'll show you. I got this binary already in my temp directory. This is the one, 8.0.34 one EL7 x86-64 bundle.rpm. What Oracle says is you always do an MD5 sum check. This is the way you can verify whether you have the right package or not. So the MD5 sum value for this is this. Are these both same? So C411 ending with DE14, so they are same. So I'm going to untar it now. So tar minus xvf, I'm untarring the RPMs you see here. So we will just briefly go over what each of these RPMs are. Okay, so now all you got was RPMs. So let me see if I have space here. 2 GB. Yeah, I have capacity. I have all the RPMs now untarred. Alright, so this is the main file is this. This is our server RPM. Alright, and then this is client, and this is common, this is libs. So these are the mandatory packages. Alright, so let me just quickly take you over what each of these RPMs are. Alright, let's go over to this, and you see here. So this is the community edition MySQL and what each RPMs are. So the client RPM is for client application and tools, and the client plugins, as the name implies, it's a shared plugin for MySQL client applications. Most probably we are not interested in this, but though we just kept it downloaded, that's all. And this is very important package, common files for server and client libraries. You need it as a mandatory package. Again, this is not needed, I think, for our deployment. It's a community development one, development header files and libraries for MySQL database client applications. Again, embedded, again I think it's for embedded library and compatible for applications using version 18 or the library. I don't think we need this embedded compatibility as well. And then this is MySQL package of ICU data files needed by MySQL regular expressions. If at all you're using regular expression, I think you need this. But anyway, we are going to deploy this in the library files. This is very important, shared libraries for MySQL database client applications, and shared compatibility libraries for MySQL installation only present if previous MySQL versions are supported by the platform. Alright, this is the important one, you cannot skip it. Without this there is no server. And this is for debug again, test and MySQL community. So there are additional debug packages for each of them. So if at all you need, look at this enterprise edition. This is what is supported by Oracle. You need to buy license for this. You see they're providing you a backup client as well. Alright. So they're providing you a backup client, like in case if an Oracle you have Arman, and in Postgres you have Barman, like that. They're supplying a separate backup utility itself that is not there with the community edition. So this is kind of an add-on they're adding to the, when making it, to make it as a licensed one, they're adding an additional feature to make it looking different. Alright, so let's get into the action. After you downloaded it, right, let's install the RPMs. So we have to install them. Okay, to install the RPMs, you need to uh, run this command in yum install for installing the package MySQL community dash server. Alright, server client plugin. Alright, we have it. ICU data files. Alright, we have common. Alright, we have common and libs. So like we said, server 1 2 3 4 5 and 6 packages we are installing. Okay, this is coming from Oracle, I'm not saying by myself. Okay, let's install it. So it's installing them. This is the one thing which Oracle says is very error prone. Reason why they say it's error prone is because we are doing a manual installation. If you don't run this command, if you try installing this one after the other, you will not be able to identify the dependency. Because of that, you may face some errors. That's the reason Oracle gave one single command, you can run it. So alright, so I guess I have MariaDB, or alright, fine. It's asking me to install them, but yeah, it's all coming from my repository, of my local repository. 7 in total. Okay, yeah, so there is one dependency which is installed from my RHL repository, which is NetTools. Rest all are not coming from anywhere else. You see here 5 and 3 8. So all these are referenced from my local, the repository which I have downloaded and gave it to it. This is the only extra repository coming from RHL. Let's install it. There is one prerequisite though, which is called libio. So the only prerequisite you need to look for this installation is prereqs. By default, mostly you will have this libao. Sorry, I forgot to mention that. So this package you need to have. I think this is an asynchronous IO library. Most of your RDBMS deployment in Linux, you need this package. So it's done. Good. So I'll show you if that package existed or not. I'm sure it exists. That's the reason I didn't face an issue. You see here it existed. That's the reason it didn't complete. Otherwise it would not have installed it. And let's see if we have all what we need. If you see here 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8. So server, client, common, lib. These are what the very important ones I will always look for, and they are already there. So it's already completed installing. Okay. Anyway, I am prepared to do the second method of installation as well. What it was is, like I said, tar. I have the binary already pre-compiled and packed it into a tarball instead of yum. I'll just untar it. That was the other option. And for that, I already prepared the steps. I wanted to verify if the yum installation followed all the steps or not. At least the next step is what it does this. But I wanted to verify until here is everything is done by the yum or not. So I want to verify if a MySQL user is added. Let me check if it's already added. And there should be a group also. You see here there is a group and the user MySQL added. So that's the first step is verified. And next, so we know the binary is already installed. We just need to verify where they are installed. Okay, let's go to the Excel. Let's go to the Excel. So what they say is, by default, the binaries, programs and scripts should be installed in user bin. This is where the MySQL binary should be installed. So let's see, user bin. I'll just check the tail. Alright, so user bin MySQL. Alright, we have so many binaries installed recently. So MySQL upgrade, MySQL slow, dump slow, and MySQL. Yeah, everything exists. I wanted to see where this is pointing to. It doesn't point to anything else. It's on its own. And the version of it. So it's 8.2. Okay, 2.2. Fine. Let's check this one too. Okay. So this is the version we were looking for, right? Version 8.0.34. So this is already there. Yes, so the client programs and scripts, yes, they do exist here, I can see. So we will say yes, it's user bin. And what is the MySQL D server? In the user, they say it should be in user is bin. To make it much more clear to you, I'll make it in the upper half of my screen. Alright. Okay, so this MySQL D is the server daemon, and like they called out, see, it's MySQL D space server. So yes, it is in the user has been directory. Yes, so we verified this as well. And the configuration file. So I'll just quickly go over this. etc my.cnf. Whether do we have this file? Yes, we do. So etc my.cnf, yes. And data directory. Whether has it initialized any data directory called val_lib MySQL. This is where database files will be kept. Yes, it is. So does it have anything? So before our next command is run, it doesn't have anything right now. Okay, so it is val_lib MySQL. And then the error log. So I don't think this error logs would have been initialized because we haven't started the MySQL server yet. So it's in RHEL CentOS is MySQL data.log. So it's there, but it's 0 bytes. You see, it's var log MySQL d.log, and the next one value for secure file privilege. So let's see where lib any directories are created. Yes, you see here the directories. There are 3 directories created by MySQL user: MySQL keyring, MySQL files, and MySQL. This is data directory. This is MySQL files is the one which is referenced here. So this controls the export import permission of the MySQL, they say. So I'm yet to explore that, but I'll let you know as soon as I know about them. So MySQL files, yes, we do have. And the next one is it should have deployed a startup script in init.d. So when the server reboots, it will automatically start. So init.d MySQL. This doesn't exist, but I'm sure I should be able to start it. Alright, let me see why it doesn't. So I will mark it as no files deployed. Alright, it's a system v init script, but in CentOS I think it's it's not system DRSS, I think, but I should see here systemctl status MySQL d. Alright, it's already there. So you see, guys, so I was wrong. The first one is not right. I think that maybe is RHL 6 or something, I think, but with the latest one 7 and above, this is how we check. Yeah, it exists. So we just say this is the one, the service, and it's MySQL d, yeah, proper pit file. Let's see if the pit file is created. Var run MySQL d dot pid. Okay, var run MySQL d dot pid. It doesn't exist, so I'll mark it as doesn't exist. And socket file, I think we didn't start it yet, so they will not be there, the socket file. And yes, so it's a Linux socket file. Yeah, it doesn't exist because we didn't start it. And the keyring file, we already saw it existed, so I'll just copy this and paste it. Unix man page, yeah, this I don't think you need to verify. The include header user include MySQL. Alright, doesn't exist because I think it may be used for an advanced deployment. Doesn't exist. Libraries, they should be there. Lib, okay, sorry, lib, I was surprised. Alright, doesn't exist. Oh, okay. Support files, fine. Okay, so this is what the status of what Oracle said. Until here everything is valid, rest or not. So let's see. Let's check the next step, which is the start. Okay, now we are going to start the MySQL service, and as per the document, it should initialize the data directory. We saw it was empty, and it should create the SSL certificate also in the data directory, and it should validate the password install. So let's see. It's initializing. We'll see in a minute. I think it's doing the job. If you want to see it live, it's already done. So let's go over and check where lib MySQL. Oh God, so many files were created. Auto.cnf, you see here, this is what Oracle said as SSL, and so you have CA certificate for both server and client, and SSH keys also created, public and private keys. So you see here. So all these are given by the SSL command. This is, I think, a schema, performance schema. In MySQL, I think database and schema are same. So performance schema, default schema, sys MySQL performance schema, all that are here. And this we missed it, right? MySQL dot socket. So that's now there. Let's go back to the Excel. So now after initialization, it's found. After startup, it was found. And MySQL.pid. So where is it? It should also be here. Yeah, it's IBD. No, PID. It still doesn't exist. Oh, MySQL D. No. Why? Oh, that's okay. So I was wrong. It's where lib is in the socket, but PID is where run. Okay. MySQL D.pid. Oh, it's not there. Okay, fine. So for us, for now, this is there. And yep, good. We had all these actions are completed. Now let's check the status of the MySQL service. Status MySQL D is active running, and this is the daemon. So the status server is operational. Okay, this is a log file message starting the SQL server, started MySQL server. And let's see what is there in view where log MySQL.log. So initializing the server, initialization has started, initialization ended, temporary password is generated. So it has the password here, and MySQL is running here. InnoDB initialized, and this is a storage engine, I think. CS certificate created. MySQL main configured. Yeah, this is a certificate SSL configuration. Ready for connection. So on port number 33060. Okay. So, right, there is one more socket. Okay, fine. For X plugin. Okay, 33. So this is our port number, default port number, and you see here MySQL community server. So we just track it down for our reference. Clients should connect to this port number if at all they want to connect. Alright. Let me check if that port number is being listened to or not. Yes, it is listened by MySQL D. TCP6 and TCP6. Okay, there is nothing for TCP4, which is which is interesting. All right, no problem. I think we have to configure for TCP4 separately, which is our still in convention. Let me know in comments, guys, how many of you are using TCP6 in your enterprise. All right, now, so initialization finished successfully. We need to change the password, right? So let's do that. To change the password, what MySQL says is you have to grab the password first. We already saw that. So this is a temporary password. So a temporary password is generated for root at localhost. This is one quite interesting thing in MySQL, guys. I saw in MySQL the user is not user. User is associated with the host. Then they call it as an user. So it's a user and the host from which the user is going to connect is considered a single user. I think you have an option to optimize if it is star host as well. If you're having an AD authentication, you may connect from multiple machines, right? Your client machines may be multiple machine, but you are having a service account or AD account, then you will automatically connect from multiple machines. I think that time you will use a star in place of this at localhost, something like that. So but fine anyway. So let's see if you're able to change the password. So the password will be by default expired as soon as I copy paste this, and then alright, so if I need to change the password, I need to run another command, which is this alter user. I thought it will be expired and I will be asked to change it, but it doesn't seem to be. So this is what MySQL says, the way you update the password. Let me see if my password has been updated and it works. Alright, it works. So this is it, guys. This is how you do the installation. I'll update my notes, and you will see a blog of this as well. So I'll update the blog, it's on the video link. You take a look at that blog also for the detailed explanation and also the log content of whatever we have executed. Alright, so we already retrieved. So G, yeah, retrieve the deployment information, store it for future reference. We already did it, right? So we already captured the information. So this all looks good. Thanks, guys. So thanks for joining me in this video. I hope you liked the video. If you like, give me a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel, How to VLAN. Thank you. Bye.